Let all Christians who have ears hear this. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. What does that mean? What exactly is being said in this passage? And then the very next verse is one of the most commonly memorized verses. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. But this part above it doesn't get mentioned as much. Present yourselves, your bodies, as a living sacrifice. You see, a lot of people in American Christianity, they present their members to God, but not their entire body. But it's not a sacrifice when you do the very things you love to do for God. What sacrifice is it if I love to sing and I sing for God? What sacrifice is it if I only talk about God around people who like to talk about God? Let me teach you what this actually means to give yourself as a sacrifice to God. Let's go back to the book of Daniel. When Nebuchadnezzar decides to erect a golden statue of himself and demands that everybody bow to it. And then 3 men refuse to bow to it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they say to him, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If this be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But if not, be it known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. Now, did you catch that? They did not willingly go into the fire because they knew God would save them from the fire. They said, whether God saves me or lets me burn, I will serve him only. No matter what, they would not bow down to another god. And they were willing to go into the fire. And then these men were bound in their cloaks, their tunics, their hats, and their other garments, and they were thrown into the burning fiery furnace. Because the king's order was urgent and the furnace was overheated, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell bound into the burning fiery furnace. This fire was so hot that the men that brought them to the fire died. And up until the moment where they go into the fire, not once do they say, no, we will bow, we will bow. They said, whether God protects us and delivers us or not, we will not bow. And then the king asked the people, did we not cast 3 bound into the fire? They answered and said to the king, true, O king. He answered and said, but I see 4 men unbound, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt, and the appearance of the 4th is like a son of the gods. You see, a lot of Christians today would only jump in if they knew God was going to save them in the fire. And even then, some Christians still won't jump in. But yet they said, whether God deliver us or not. I ask you today, are you kneeling for something in your life? When moments to bring up Jesus' name come up, do you stay silent? And if you do, is that any different than kneeling to the statue right here? How many of us in moments where we should stand on our faith kneel? How many of us in moments where we should declare our love for Jesus and proclaim the gospel do we kneel? How often should we stand up and defend his name in the presence of people who don't respect his name and we kneel? But yet we're told to present our bodies as a living sacrifice to God. Not just the easy parts. Not just when it's easy at coffee hour on Sunday with my friends at church. Not just when it's easy at our connect groups and our Bible studies. I'm talking about when you're running late, but someone is hungry. I'm talking about when you only got 20 bucks on you and you really wanted to get that drink. You wanted to get that meal, but somebody's hungry. I'm talking about that moment where you feel it in your heart that I should pray for this person, but you're scared to ask them if I can pray for you. How many of you are actually presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice to God, saying that I give my entire self to you, because that is our spiritual worship? So if you're not doing this, are you really worshiping him? Are you willing to step into the fire, whether or not God delivers you from it? God bless and go in peace.